Solve inequalities using multiplication and division. So with these, if we multiply or divide both sides by a positive number, the inequality does not change. So like it stays facing the same way that it was facing before. However, if we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, we flip the inequality. So an example of that is if I had something like m divided by -8 is less than or equal to 2. We multiply both sides by -8. And so I would be left with m. Over here on this side, -8 times 2 is -16. But because I'm multiplying by a negative number, I flipped the inequality. So it was less than or equal to, now it's greater than or equal to. Okay, so if we multiply or divide by a negative, we flip the inequality. And these still have us graphing the solution, but I'm not going to do it on this one. I'll do it on the actual homework ones in a minute.
So if the 2 is also a negative, would you still flip it?
Yeah. So if you're doing anything of moving a negative number from one side to the other, it will always get flipped. But yeah, if both things happen to be negative, then yes. But if the 8 was positive, so if instead it was, say, m over 8 is less than or equal to -2, let's just say it was that instead, then I multiply both sides by 8, and I would have m, it stays less than or equal to -16. So that one would stay in that situation. And same thing if it was like -3m, when we divide, we also flip it. But we'll see examples of all that in a minute. So other than that, nothing really crazy like new in this section, other than like that one little rule. So jumping into examples. Apparently it wants me to type something. Number 4, solve the inequality, graph your solution. X divided by -3 is less than -10. So on this one's kind of like the example I just did a second ago, but I multiply both sides by -3. So I have x. When I'm multiplying by a negative, I flip the inequality, so it's going to be greater than. -3 times -10 is a positive 30, so x is greater than 30. Yes.
Slow down to the lines. Are we gonna do the line thing? Where you draw the number line?
If you let me finish the problem, I will.
You didn't write it on the example side.
I said I'm not going to do it on those. I'm going to wait until we get to the homework problems to do them.
Alright.
Good job, Sam.
All right, so the number line here, and obviously typically when we're multiplying and dividing, we end up with numbers that are a lot larger. Okay, so you may want to count by like tens or something. I think we kind of talked about that yesterday, and you don't have to have, like, the number 0, like, does not have to be on your graph, okay? It can be assumed that it was just continued off in that direction, but I'm just going to count by tens. So, when you're graphing your solution, it graphs the way of your final answer, okay? So when you're going to graph it, ignore the first thing you have. You're just looking at your final. So this one is going to be pointing which direction? To the right. And is it a parentheses or a bracket?
Parentheses.
Yep. So it's going to be a parentheses here at 30, and it's going this way. Six. 40 is greater than W divided by 5. So I multiply both sides by 5. So I get 200 is greater than W. Okay, now when we do this, remember we want typically the variable to be on the left. It just makes it easier for us to think about. So we need to flip the whole thing over, okay? So it's W, the mouth is opening away from it, so it's less than 200. I haven't graphed it yet. Is that what you're getting ready to tell me?
Oh, no, I was saying, like, do you, like, have to do it? Do you have to switch it?
You don't have to, but I'm scared that you're going to graph it wrong if you don't.
Okay.
But if you can do it and graph it the right way, you do you.
Okay.
All right, now on this one, it's all the way out to 200, so I may start at 100 and I may count by 50s. That's fine too. Look, I'm not super picky about the graphs. As long as you have the stuff facing the right way, I don't really care. All right, so which way does this one face?
To the left.
To the left. And is it a parentheses or a bracket? So parentheses going left. Eight. 72 is less than or equal to 9 times R. How do I get R by itself?
You gotta divide.
Yep, divide by 9. So it was being multiplied, so I divide both sides by 9. What's 72 divided by 9? So 8 is less than or equal to R. Again, I would recommend you flip it so that it's in the right order. The book's always going to put the variable on the left in the answer. So R, the mouth opens toward the R, is greater than or equal to 8. So I'm going to count by 2s. You could get real crazy and count by 4s if you wanted to, you know, whatever you're feeling. I mean, you could, but you've got to have at least 2 numbers on your number line, though. Yes.
Could you theoretically count by 800 and just had an 8 somewhere?
What?
Why would you do that?
It should be like realistic. I mean,
Yeah, don't count by 800.
I'm gonna start counting.
like don't count by 10s when the number's 8. Count by 2, count by 4, count by 1.
Nice. 800.
All right, so what's this one look like?
A bracket.
Bracket.
Goes right.
Also right.
Bracket going to the right.
Oh my god.
No.
That's so embarrassing.
Did you seriously have to do this? That is
I'm even higher skilled than that. Like.
that is embarrassing.
Look, I have a friend that's like literally my age that still can't tell her left from her right and has to literally do this. So
It's
it's
two
fine.
options.
I
I
would
don't
hate to
want
see
to
you behind the wheel,
I
man.
never did this. Oh yeah, turn right.
I'll be like, you need to go left, and she'll be like, okay, this way.
I don't want to see a video behind the wheel.
Oh, we're really gonna try to drive
Go left, okay.
Especially trying to figure out which way to hit the turn signal. I'm always like, because my mom always taught me like up and over, or like down and under, for like which way it's going.
Sam foiled my plan. Sam saved the day, but
Oh, yeah. I stopped 9:12.
Okay, let's focus back. Number 10, negative 11m is less than or equal to negative 22. What do I need to do to get m by itself?
Divide.
And what do I get when I do that?
2.
M is greater than or equal to 2.
Yep. So we divided by a negative. So I think this was the first one we've divided by a negative. So we needed to flip the inequality. So it became greater than or equal to, and then negative 22 divided by negative 11 is positive 2. So which way does this one go?
Bracket to the
Right. Left. Wait.
No.
Right.
He
still doesn't know his left and right.
Hang on, guys. He didn't even. Yeah, he didn't
I think he's just messing with y'all.
Like I said, what he did in the
Yeah, you're in the history of pi, but can't tell from left. The history of left and right.
You gave him. I should read the history of left and right. Yeah, you probably need it.
Stop reading about. Alright, that turns right onto the highway.
All right, 12. N divided by 3 is less than negative 9. What do I do with this one?
Times it by 3.
What do I get?
Number.
N is less than negative 27.
Yeah, what he said.
This coffee. You can't do that.
I can't.
Time to count by nines.
Yay!
It's a good option.
You sounded so happy.
I'm so happy about this.
If you're happy, then clap your hands.
No one's
Okay, go to you.
Stop.
John,
I am.
All right, what does this one look like?
Parentheses.
Going where?
Left.
Parentheses going left. Is L going the right direction? All right, 14. V divided by negative 4 is greater than or equal to negative 8.
Multiply by negative 4. And then you gotta swap the thing.
You just said 4. No, I said negative.
So I get what?
You get V is less than or equal to 32.
Yep. And what does this graph look like?
You gotta have the bracket going left.
Shut up. I'm not talking like that.
So we're a bracket going to the left from 32.
You were watching cracking my neck. Let me do mine.
Guys, shut up.
Just stop, please.
Who's watching who? Like,
Apparently, I'll be watching.
What? Okay, that's good.
it's you, not her.
18.07 is greater than or equal to k divided by 7.
Wait.
Can I get your hair off my desk?
Point
Great.
7.
It's
Yes,
You
times
said-
times
Is it-
times
is it-
1.9 is
is it-
greater than or equal to k. No. No.
so we're multiplying by 7, so it seems like some of us are struggling with it. I have heard the right answer though, but 0.07 times 7, that would be 49.
Oh.
I said that. What do you mean?
No, I.
But you
And
did
then
not
two
say
de-
anything.
look,
I
we
said-
moved the decimal 2 places. So 1, 2, it is 0.49.
I knew it.
No, I got it.
0.49 is greater than or equal to k. Flip it so k is on the other side. So k is less than or equal to 0.49. And then graphing this, you could really, oh, I just did the wrong color.
No.
You could just put, 0 and 1 on here if you wanted to. Which way does this one go?
Yes.
Bracket going left, it's halfway between because of the way I did it. Approximately going that way. $20. X divided by -5 is less than or equal to -7.5. What happens here? What happens when I do the multiplying by the negative?
Oh wait.
Yep, it is greater than or equal to. I multiplied by negative, so I flip it, so it becomes greater than or equal to 7.5 times 5.
Wait, yes I did it.
This is 1 decimal place, so I'm moving it over 1. So x is greater than or equal to 37.5.
You don't even know if we're talking. You're like, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So what is this one?
It goes to
Do you
the
say
right.
green?
Except bracket.
Bracket going to the right. Alright, are we okay on these?
Yeah. They're too easy.
What do you mean you're too
Over to you don't know your-
easy? You didn't go with the first grade, buddy.
The product of 8 and x is greater than 50.
Yo, shut up.
8 times x.
Oh, we don't need you. Talk, John.
Alright, so this is a throwback to chapter 1. How do I set this up?
8
8
greater
times
50.
x times 8. Oh,
Yep, it doesn't matter. X times 8, 8 times x.
and I messed it.
Doesn't make a difference. Now they want us to solve these and then graph the solution. I'm just going to solve them because we've done enough graphing.
That's awesome. Oh, I thought it was actual times x, not
So in the homework problem, will we have to graph these ones?
Yes.
Alright. Even more for us.
also.
Hey, we have to do this by ourselves.
No, because
No, it's us.
No, I'm just waiting on somebody to tell me what to do.
Oh.
Oh,
come on,
no,
so
no,
the
no.
circle
So 8 divided by 50.
50 divided by 8, can that be reduced?
Unfortunately.
Not by
You need to throw out some weights.
25 and 4.
Just by a little.
Yep, divide by 2 or reduce it by 2, whatever, however you want to decide, say it. X is greater than 25 over 4.
Shut up. I said that. It doesn't matter who said it as long as we got the answer. That's all that matters.
You just want the answers with the
Yes, I do just want the answer. That
Last
matters.
one, the quotient.
Wait, what about the line?
Can somebody tell him what I just said?
There's no graphing.
She's not gonna graph these because we've done
Sam,
enough
you're worse than
graphing.
me,
But when
man.
we do our homework, we are going to
No,
have to
you
graph
are.
them.
Oh my god, I'm feeling calm.
He's not listening.
What? I need to know if I need to do it or
It sounds cringy.
Oh, your buddies.
this guy.
The quotient of b and -9 is less than -18.
Alright, so
B
b
over
over
negative
-9
9.
less than simple -18. So are we gonna do it?
Yes! You have to swap the symbols.
On your paper, yes, you are going to graph them.
Sam, it's
Wait, how am I gonna know if you don't?
Ow!
It's the same thing we've been
We've been graphing for 2 days now.
So you're not gonna do
was
it
like-
with us?
I can't
V
do
is
this.
greater than 162. V is greater than 162.
We've already agreed to
It was like, V is greater than 162.
Do you need me to graph it for you? I've already graphed like 25 of them.
Just look
No,
at the
we're good.
previous
Sam,
one.
just look at
Like,
the
this is a
previous
different
stuff.
question. This is
Sam, no, it's not the same thing we did yesterday. Oh my God, Sam.
It's
No, it's
Yeah.
not. What the heck?
She said it like 20
Sam,
times.
take a chip for grabbing the spot.
I can't.
You will sound smart if you just close your mouth. Oh my God, Sam.
Sam.
How am I gonna
I'm
sound
gonna
smart if I don't
cry.
say things?
Sam,
Because
now
then I
you're
can't
making
mess
Sam.
up.
Sam, you're making
Common
her do
sense.
more work.
God.
She's
I
now
should
she's
know.
graphing it for you.
Less time on homework.
How are little
come
videos
on.
for? You're not the
Thank you,
one
ma'am.
understanding.
For real, when these guys won't.
Sam, what do you mean? Oh my God.
I mean, it's
Oh.
not like you're over them screaming like hyenas.
We must need a quiz on graphing because I thought we had this under control.
No, I
You
don't
go
know.
back
Give
first.
Sam
I
the-
know.
give
You go back
Sam the
first.
thing.
No, you go back to first.
I'm good
Why
at
you go
eighth
back
grade.
first?
Okay, settle.
Why are you pointing at me? I don't even
I'm good at
first
eighth
grade.
grade. Sam in no video, you can go back to
Bro,
first.
you just
Sam,
said
you
settle.
You don't know your left and right.
I'm doing my own
Bro,
thing.
you literally just said settle.
I'll take that.
I'm doing my own thing.
No, you're not.
Sam, you're failing that.
You're not doing your own
You're
thing,
getting
you're
a
copying
zero.
her words. That's not how it
Doesn't
works.
make him actually a zero.
Teacher!
Guys, we have homework.
Yay.
My favorite. Maybe at the start of the quarter, perhaps.
I barely even. I did this.
You did not.
I did. I suffered because I had the brain damage.
Yeah, we can tell.
All right, 1 through 13 odd, 21, 23, 31, and 33.
Wait, is that less than last time?
Shrimple.
No.
And all of them are getting graphed.
Sam.
No, but we're gonna get